Were you able to send out the minutes beforehand?
I just in the
Just
last
did.
like 30 minutes or so, yeah.
Okay.
I did have a hard copy if you want. We could.
Which one did you send out? I forgot. Yeah.
Okay. You
So,
want to make hard copies and pass them around? Or?
yeah, let's do that.
Okay, well, where's the copy here?
Sorry
Sorry about that, buddy.
No, it's fine.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah. So while Bob is doing that, Daryl, do you have any updates on the old cemetery flagpoles?
Everything has been approved, everything, we're ready to go, we're just waiting for, the spring, they're gonna be in by Memorial Day,
Oh, perfect.
we're ready to rock.
Yeah, when we got the, is it the Nipmuc tribe? We got
Yes.
their flag?
Yes, vectorized, and, we actually ordered, 3 copies of the flag, because once you purchase 3, you get a price break, we could have done 5, we could have done 10.
Yeah.
We did 3, so we are all set to go. Normally with a custom flag, they actually put them on like a nylon instead of what we use like now is like a polymax with our regular flags that are flying on the pole. Excuse me, not regular flags, the US flags,
Yeah.
we use a polymax. So these ones are printed on a nylon, they're probably not gonna last as long, but with 3 flags, we're gonna probably get 2 years out of the 3 flags and we're ready to go.
Okay.
Are they two-sided?
They are not double-sided flags.
Okay.
Because it's really tough to do a
Yeah.
double-sided
Right.
US flag
This question,
to match with another one.
Yeah.
now, we paid for the graphics to make it.
Yes,
Did we also buy the flags for them?
yes.
Yeah, that was already approved.
How come? Isn't it their flag?
I don't believe it was purchased by.
It wasn't purchased by us,
I
the
believe it
town
was
purchased
the
it all.
Okay.
different department, yes.
No, we didn't purchase it, we don't, all of our money is in the VAC account, so. And do you, I mean, obviously spring, but you said you're gonna shoot to have it in before Memorial Day?
Oh, we're definitely gonna have it in before Memorial Day, definitely. The only sort of instruction I was looking for was for sort of the location of the flag and, the 2 flagpoles. And the only real input I got back was just for, accessibility because of the age of the cemetery and the ceremonies that we have there. So, I believe we are all set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
We're gonna make it very
Is it
accessible for
gonna be
Memorial Day.
Inside the cemetery?
Oh, of course, it's
Okay.
inside the cemetery,
So
yes,
we got
yes,
that
yes.
little porch next to the entryway on both sides where a flag pole could be put, accessible to Oak Street. But
Well, so that's sort of why I was looking for some sort of direction for flagpoles. And what I was thinking was more of a sort of a universal visual point for it, so that you could see it
Yeah.
from 122. So it's gonna be down there, usually where we have the memorial flags for Memorial
Yeah.
Day, we're gonna have it in that location.
okay. Is it gonna be in the middle or to the side of where your driveway is in the middle?
So if you're entering it from Oak Street, it's gonna be on the right-hand side, just like how we have all of those memorial markers. We're gonna go right there.
Okay, perfect. Good.
So then the next question that we'll talk about as we get closer is a dedication for whenever you put it up, if we want to do a dedication or if we just want to install. I mean, I'm sure we'll probably want to do something, just depending on how big it is, because we've also got Sampson Square coming up as well. So, you know, do we roll it in? Do we wait till after Memorial Day so it doesn't detract from Memorial Day, if you will? So we'll need to work with the Legion on that stuff, so. Do we have a date for Sampson Square to be finished? Sampson Square is done, correct?
Sampson Square is done as far as from my knowledge, as far as the state is concerned, Sampson Square is done. We are gonna be doing additive things to it. We have new benches that are coming in.
Yep.
We're gonna be doing some more things there to advance where we are now. But, as far as the state is concerned, from what I understand, is that Sampson Square is completely finished. But the town is doing more.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have benches ordered for it, we have, some sort of ADA walkway sort of accessibility issues that we are gonna be dealing with.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be done in-house with the department.
Okay. Because if I remember correctly, last time when the Carmen and Stan were here, we talked about the dedication for Sampson Square maybe happening around Flag Day. And tying Flag Day to it. Well, this, we have flags too. So it makes a little bit more sense if we were to do them, time both there, dedicating the flagpole. We can do that one first, it's right across the street from the school, and then we can do Sampson Square afterwards or something like that. So,
And if we do a flag dedication, if we are having the indigenous flag there, invite that group as well.
yeah, yeah, they would definitely be that. Yep.
Sure.
Question regarding American flag. Can never be flown basically the same height as any other flag.
Yeah, I believe the American
So
flag
the
pole is
American
taller.
pole should be at least 6 inches taller than the other one?
Yeah.
It's
So
definitely
we
going to
Put
be.
the other one down 6 inches,
It's
so.
definitely going to be, and then, but again, so then it's supposed to be taller than any other flag on any
Yep.
flag in the area. But that's also a matter of perspective too, because depending on how we're looking at it, so if you're looking at it from 122, one flag's gonna look higher than the other. If
Yeah.
you're looking at it from Oak Street, one flag's gonna be higher than the other.
Right.
So this is why I was sort of looking for some sort of instruction on how we
Yeah.
should place these flags. What I was thinking was on both sides of that sort of access road, you can see the old
Yeah.
gravel access road, but,
Are the two poles gonna be right next to each other or?
they're going to be they're not, no, they're gonna be close, they're gonna be their own separate
Oh,
flag
okay.
poles. And again, it's gonna be one of those things of perspective, because we are on this downward
Right.
slope.
Right,
What's the language? Does the language say when it's displayed, or because I'm pretty sure it doesn't say anything about perspective, so.
When it's displayed, it's supposed to be
Well,
higher
it's
than
displayed
the
as high-
other.
So
it
it's-
has to be higher.
And then also, I
Specific.
mean, there's code on how flags are
Right.
displayed in sequential order.
Right,
But when the rules were written, they didn't worry about whether somebody was coming north or south.
no,
Right,
no,
right.
no.
Well, but display is a funny word. Display is you see it,
Yep,
which, so I can understand, I mean, there could be some people that take issue with that. I mean, I understand where you're going if you have one on each side of the street, and now they're not close enough for you,
Yes.
for that perspective to
Yep.
come into play, so that might actually be,
that was my point.
yeah.
So how do we find that out?
Do we need to just go out there and maybe take a look at it?
Well, that's something
Once we
I've
get
sort of
closer to it.
requested,
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah.
times of saying that we need to go
Yeah.
out here and, because we've had the issues of them being accessible for the Memorial Day celebrations and,
Right.
excuse me, not celebrations, acknowledgements.
Yeah.
And, I've sort of been left in sort of this ambiguous cloud of,
So, yeah, let us know, we're running this, so we can coordinate with Carmen and Stan, let us know when you're ready.
I can have a can of spray paint, I am ready whenever you guys are to mark this actually out, like it's one of these things where, again, I know perspective is sort of a really weird way to look at it, but it really is,
Yeah,
when you're dealing with slopes and
Right,
grades, it's, I could have that flag 2 feet higher from 122, but when you're looking at it from Oak Street, it might look sort of level.
right.
yeah,
Are they 25s or are they 30s?
I believe they are 25s internal flag halyards,
Okay, Good.
180, tensile strength of 180, wind
with
resistance,
wind
yeah.
resistance,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, overkill,
Yeah. Yeah, I
overkill
know
for the amount of,
people cutting their lanyards and watching flags like over here,
yeah.
last week. The flagpole, the plane is broke and the American flag is laying in the bushes on top of the hill over here. I don't want that.
do we need to wait until closer when you're ready to install to go out there? Or do you wanna get it done now?
We do it as soon as you're ready, just so I know exactly what we wanna do, and I'm gonna make it happen.
Okay. Can you work with Bob? Bob, if you'll, usually Tuesdays and Fridays, I work from home, so those are the easiest days for me to attend something. So, yeah.
It's a difficult call,
Yeah.
because like I said, you're not, but I'm on board for anything, whatever you guys wanna do.
I think as long as everybody, you know, we go out and we say, hey, look, you know, we did look at it, we did our best to make sure, you know, I'm good with that.
The other part with the flags was Jimmy Gallagher was with signage for the same cemetery. And you can find out since I talked to you this afternoon.
I have not heard anything. The last time we actually had official like discussions about signage was when Jim Gallagher was here,
Right.
and that he wanted a large sign that was made, one of those aluminum,
Yeah.
these big signs.
That's overkill though.
And, I don't believe anything was ever approved, accepted. I know you wanted to add some
Yeah.
language onto certain
But
things.
Evan knows, because I brought both the flag and pole and the signage to him. And I was very adamant the fact that I wanted both. So that's kind of taken aside. We're gonna get the poles for Memorial Day, thank God, we're getting something.
But, so like, as far as signage goes, even the signage for a place like that is slightly ambiguous,
Right.
is it Old Cemetery, is it Old Oak Street Cemetery?
It is,
There was a Indian Cemetery was a term for a time, this is one of these, what does the sign
When it was-
actually say?
when it was laid out, initially laid out 1734, because this is 1735 incorporation of town,
Yeah.
it was originally laid out as the old cemetery. That was the original name. And unless somebody wants to, and like I say, I've got 18 other names that go with it, everybody in town knows about something different. Why not maintain the old cemetery as
Yeah, it makes the most
it was
sense.
I mean,
designed for?
but again, that's also one of those things where we are acknowledging that there's people that have been buried there beforehand, it's, so like, the name is just,
Yep.
what do you put a sign as?
I think if we, once again, if we work with the tribe and say, hey, look, you know, here's the name that we have for it, I think we can easily work through that and just get everybody on the same page. They seem to be very appreciative
Yeah.
so far of what we've done, so I think that they would be good with taking a look at this. As far as the plaque goes, if you wanna send me the information, I'll include it in the agenda for our next meeting, like what you want on it.
Yep.
And then we can take a vote on it and see how much it's gonna cost, see if that's something that we can cover out of our cost. If not, I can get Evan to cover
The name of the plaque.
the signage
Oh,
for.
the signage,
Yeah.
Initially Jimmy had said, and like I say, he's gone, and he and I sat down, we went around in circles with this stuff. He wanted like a powder coated aluminum sign with which he was trying to get 10 grand out of CPC to do it. And they wouldn't buy into that. And CPA or CPC or whatever, neither one would. So he said, well, we've got to find some other way to do it. But what his idea was is set all the other signs in all the other cemeteries in Grafton are wooden. And he just wants a plain wooden sign, but he does want to identify one piece of history that goes very much with one of the founders of the town, Luke Drury. And he was Revolutionary War, and he was two other wars in between. Then he did Civil War, and he was finally doing something in Civil War when he was like 93 years old. He was a selectman for the town. He was one of the first 40 that laid out plots from the town. He wants, and he's buried in Old Cemetery, so he wants something identifying as a historical little blurb on that sign. I'd like to say, yeah, Jimmy,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so send me that, we'll get it in the agenda, we can talk about it,
Okay.
and then that way, we've done it officially and we can then tweak the language. through email and stuff, after that, and then, yeah, I don't think that'll be a problem, so.
I just wanna get that on paper
Yeah.
somewhere, so we remember to bring in Mr. Prasad and ask him what's his status on it.
Yeah. Any other questions on the flagpoles? Good, all right, yeah.
You wanna stick around?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Here alone?
We're gonna kick you out.
Next item on the agenda, I'm actually gonna back up because I skipped over the annual report. I need to write this up, didn't get a chance to get to it this week, but, nothing big on it. For those of you that were here at the VAC meeting last week, there was some talk about it, whether or not we needed to include our new funding. It turns out we do not, because our funding is covered by Jeff, in the VSO, so, it's just a simple report of everything we've done.
Do you wanna take a moment, are we gonna approve the meeting minutes tonight?
Yeah, I was just gonna get through the agenda and then do
Do it
the
at the end,
meetings,
okay.
yeah, the minutes at the end.
For your annual report, you have to report, hours spent by various committee members or whatever, as a total for your committee?
No, no, it's our reports,
Okay.
easy. I just gotta type it up, I've just been swamped with other things, so.
Thank God, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I know. The next thing on the agenda is the Jim Gallagher plaque. Once again, for those that was at the VAC meeting, so I'm gonna repeat this, but we talked to Evan and he agrees and he's willing to have the town pay for the plaque. He thought that doing the plaque out here in the GCTV little entryway was a great idea, so we'll be moving forward with that. And then Vietnam Memorial, so the grant paperwork was submitted. They got back with me, they had a couple questions, but they did confirm that they got the paperwork on time and expect to hear something. I think the paperwork said end of January, beginning of February is when they make their decision.
28 January, I think is what has been the report date.
Yeah.
Who's accepted and who isn't.
With that said, the grant is a nice to have. Evan has already promised to pay for it if we don't get the grant, so,
Oh.
either way,
Oh, really?
either way, this
Good.
is, we'll go forward with this.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
You've kind of taken the ball from me because you did the grant paperwork. Do you also want everything else that goes with it as far as putting the 6 columns together and?
No, I was gonna have you do that, I just wanted to do the grant paperwork because we were gonna get the town, and there was a lot of back and forth on that.
Yeah.
On
Like I
who
said,
could
it
help
was
us
over
out.
my pay grade.
Yeah, and I ended up, I think I did like 90% of the grant paperwork because there were some questions, but I used everything that you provided, so it went fine.
Okay.
So yeah, continue, once we get the money and stuff and we're ready to press forward, I'll have you engaged, you've already worked out the quotes, you know who you talked to with these people, you know how you want it to look. Let's do, before we go official, let's get, if you wanna do a diagram of what you want the names to look like and stuff.
Well, basically, look at the one that's on in Veterans Hall right now, the first plaque,
Mhm.
and it'll be the same second plaque with different names. Okay? As close to, without being better than, or any less than.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want to make anybody on the first plaque and look any better than the ones on the second, nor do I want anybody on the second to look any better than the ones on the first. And I started with 187, I think I'm up to 193. I have 2 more that are coming in to see Jeff, so it'd be 195, and I can put 210 on it. And after that, I don't know, according to that grant schedule, we've got to do something positive in 6 or 7 months or something, I don't remember the time frame on it. But once they determine that if they give us the grant, and there's gonna be matching funds for the town, they're gonna want us to go forward with getting it
Mhm.
made, okay? I don't know that they tell me it's about 2 months to make it. It's a cast bronze plaque, okay, which
2
means,
months?
huh?
Longer. 2 months?
2 months.
Takes 2 months for a little plaque like that I have to
No,
respect.
no, it's going to a foundry. There's 2 or 3 foundries in Massachusetts, one's veteran owned, and that's what I'm leaning towards, okay? But I can't, I can make a suggestion to the town. I've worked with these people before, okay? I know who does and who doesn't, who says and who will, you know, they'll say one thing, do another. I know the ones that say they're gonna do it and do it, and that's the ones I want. I don't wanna go cheap on this thing. If I can put my name on it, if they're not gonna do that, I'm gonna hand it to you and go walk away.
I think as long as we have multiple quotes from the town, we're fine, and we just have to justify why we're going with somebody.
We only have to give them 3, but
Yeah.
I have 6.
Yeah,
The top 3 are within a buck each, within a buck on the quote.
yeah, I think we're good. I'm not worried about
Okay.
that. I think we can easily justify that, especially if they're veteran owned.
Right.
You know.
But if they're, what their commitment is, I will give them a list, and what I do is with 193, 195 names, is put out every name by a character on a spreadsheet, okay, and lay out my 6 columns, so that no one is that wide and somebody's this wide, okay? Sometimes you have to truncate a name. Unfortunately, you got, mambakitis or something like that, you can't fit it on any column, even the last one. But what you can do, and I've seen done on the plaques, you put a little star on the bottom and say, you put star next to that name and say there's more letters to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't slight the person, but you gotta cut it off someplace. We put the last name with certain spacing between each of the letters, comma, first, space, first name, space, middle initial, decide whether you want the period after middle initial. Then you got juniors and seniors and thirds and everything else that follow if it fits. Okay, if it's a third, you can't cut it off at 2. Okay, so it's better not to put any. You got, I'll lay it all out on a spreadsheet.
Okay.
Spreadsheet for them to put onto a graphic display. And then necessary to look at every friggin' letter on it. Spacing and make sure that they have truncated or flip letters or put it on the wrong column or it's no longer alphabetical. And my last piece of notice that I sent out, unfortunately I sent it out to, I told you with Blackstone down there, they asked for a dishonorable discharge.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was, I don't know, and I asked them to correct it immediately, and they said, well, they'll send it out in the next reporting, which will be sometime at the end of January. But I hope they at least put it in again.
Yeah.
But I asked for everybody to report back to us by December, so that I could try to make sure that everybody reporting in, I could squeeze them in and get the right number. Make sure we weren't gonna go out beyond 210, because I don't wanna put another column on this thing.
No.
Okay?
Yeah, I think cut it off now. Once you get that image back from them, once they
Right.
take your database
Right.
and send it out, we'll add it to the attachment, we'll get everybody to take a look at it.
You gotta, we'll sign off and say, yes,
Yeah.
this is what we want, then
Yep.
they cast the damn thing,
Yep.
okay?
And I think we can easily talk to the grant people if they're like, hey, where are you at with this? As long as we're working towards it, we're fine.
Right,
I'm not worried about that,
gotta have a
so,
foot in the ground and doing something, they're gonna come back and ask you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think once it, I mean, I don't feel like there's anything else we really need to work on.
Nope.
You've got the names and stuff, so that's stuff we can easily get started now. Either way, whether we get the grant or not, we're gonna be moving forward with it, so.
Jeff is working with me and working with us to vet these names as they come in,
Perfect.
okay? Ashley as well, his secretary's doing it. And, so, I'm hoping that we get everybody. Now, I've got veterans in town, talking to veterans, that they went into the service same time, okay, that were from town, to say, hey, did you get your name on the plaque? Okay, so it's word of mouth. A lot of it's sent from Massachusetts, and a lot of the VFW posts are asking, were you ever living in Grafton when you were enlisted or were drafted? So it's out there. I can take, like I say, up to 210, or I'll cut it off when we go to print with it. But once we produce that final draft, we're done, we can't take any more.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would say we need to cut it off 2 weeks before we go to print. Tell people that,
Yeah, we got.
so then that way people are like, well, if you add it, if you're like, hey, this is easy, I can add it after, that's fine, but tell
Yeah,
everybody,
but once I've approved that draft, that's what they're gonna make,
yeah,
then we can't change it,
okay,
okay?
good, moving forward. Next item is buying wreaths for Memorial Day. Did we, I know last time we were talking to them, they were good with it.
Yeah,
There was some talk about whether we arts and crafts it ourselves.
right. The, two things, wreaths and wreath holders, okay? So the wreaths, you can buy through, I forget the name of the place. Anyway, you can buy, as you said, pre-made wreaths, but the issue is that getting ones that are gonna reflect what you want on them, to, not just flowers, flowers and flags and such as
Yeah.
that. So, we can, the cost varies between, I think it was like $18 to $30 a piece, again, depending on whatever. The ones that we have now are a styrofoam base with, flowers kind of just stuck in it and glued onto it, whatever. I was trying to look at something a little bit more durable, so to speak, to let them last a little bit longer. So that, I would suggest that maybe we just, I look at a couple and then just maybe buy a couple just as samples and then make a decision that way. On the wreath holders, you can buy some that it's a tripod type thing, it's a green powder coated wire.
Yeah.
But I was actually thinking of a different way, because with those there, you have the rear leg sticks out, which is fine, they would hold up nicely. However, storage, because if we were to buy 70 of them,
They should be able to collapse.
I know, they'll collapse, but now you have this triangle that's like yay tall, yay wide, if you're gonna get 70 of them to go around. The other option I was considering was just getting some flat stock steel. You can get it 1/2 inch wide, 1/8 inch thick, which is pretty substantial. You can buy it in strips of 20 feet, you can cut whatever you need. The cost of the pre-made tripod is, say, $4.30. Cost of the steel works out by the piece, if we would do, say, 3-foot pieces, is less than $2. The issue with this buying the steel is just making that hook on the end to hold the wreath. Because my thought was, again, you just drive it in the ground like a driveway marker.
Yep.
And then storing them, you're just storing, how do you store your driveway markers, The issue would be labor. I did talk to a gentleman at Blackstone Valley Tech, and he said, well, they could do it. He asked me about, purchasing, who would pay for the materials such as that. I said, well, let me investigate cost of material first, and then go from there.
What about just wood? Like the wooden stakes that they use for signs? And then you could just put like a coat, like the little
Put
coat
a nail in it?
Yeah, or a nail.
Yeah.
It's cheap, but it looks cheap.
Yeah.
The oak that they use like, on this, what do you see, those silk areas? You see them on the side of the road, a piece of 1 inch square.
And you can stain it and make it look nice, make it last, and then,
Ooh, that's a thought
so
also.
you could just put, you
Yeah,
could
you
either
can
get a
just put-
nail or,
Put a big nail and hang the wreath on that?
yeah. I
That's
mean,
a
nobody's
thought.
really looking at the,
They're not looking at the post, they're
No.
looking at the wreath.
yeah.
If one of us had a friend that did welding,
Mm-hmm.
and we were to get the stock,
Yeah.
would one of us like to approach him and see if he wants to do it? How many do we need?
Well, if you're gonna put one at every memorial, you're looking at about 70, 72.
Okay,
I'm just thinking that'd be heavy.
not really, not really. What I'm saying is, it wouldn't be just like a cup hook. okay, to hold it. It would be almost a closed C like with the welding on the back, so that it would be like, so the wreath wouldn't blow off of it.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you'd be able to drive it in from the top, and,
I hate to say this, but I have a prototype at my house. When I flew out today, I just went, damn, because I have one of the wire triangles and I have a piece of steel that I had. Yeah.
His house is full of prototypes.
Apparently. Okay, well, if you wanna bring it next time, we could take a look at that.
Yeah, okay.
It sounds like, I mean, it sounds like that, I mean, if we're talking like that kind of money, that's something that we could afford that in our budget, I would think.
Yeah.
The wreaths, I'm good with talking about maybe, you know, getting a couple.
Staggering the,
Yeah, we'll definitely need a stagger, but I
Yeah,
also
so-
think it might be worth seeing, hey, well, okay, maybe we can go in, like, and I think we talked about this with the Legion, and say, hey, y'all got money, we have money, we'll both pitch in,
Right.
we'll both buy some
Mhm.
wreaths after we get the prototypes and we determine
Right.
which one we want, and then we'll just stagger it and
Yeah.
then go from there.
Mhm.
I think that would work.
Because at the same time, we need to talk probably to the post and say, okay, when we're buying the wreaths, you buy the Tupperware containers to put them in, and, oh, by the way, where are you gonna put the Tupperware?
Yeah.
Because right now, they keep them in that wooden shed.
yeah.
Right here? Back
Yeah.
here? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Town's got one too in the back, doesn't it?
The new town
Not as
bond,
big as mine.
Huh?
the
Not as
new
big as
town bond,
mine.
maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't work out of the new town barn. I work out of Fairview Cemetery.
But I mean, the thing is, if we
I
do it
understand.
here, we
Yes, I
know we have access.
Yeah, we have it, we
Right.
control it. Not
Yeah.
control it, but we have it, yeah.
Right, so.
Okay, that's fine.
Where would be the storage regardless of what is bought?
I'm sorry?
Where would the storage be? Whatever is determined.
Right now, they're using, is it an attic or a shed?
It's a
It's
shed
shed, yeah, in the back.
behind the post.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not,
No climate control.
Right.
It's cold, it's damp, it's wet sometimes.
so that's why we were talking about moving it back here,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
because Bob has the storage space back here. And it'll keep them better.
Okay, now it's coming back.
Yeah.
I know we've done some stuff with the scouts, like some poles and stuff, but,
Yeah.
How much did that cost that you just showed?
well, this was just an example, $24 for 2 packs, 62 inches.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them in there?
Yeah,
How much?
$24,
$24.
$24.99.
Yeah.
For two,
But the 62 inches high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need half of that, basically.
Yeah.
Are we talking like 3 feet, we're gonna put a foot in the ground and keep them above ground by 2 feet to hang the wreath on?
My
You
thought
get a
was,
foot in the ground
you
here
buy,
with the
you buy
rocks.
this, if we do the flat stock,
Yeah,
comes at 20-foot lengths. You get, cut it at 3 feet,
yeah,
okay? And then, like you said, after you take a portion of it, bend it, or you're still gonna have, 30 inches, whatever, so you can, and then that would also be determined by how big a wreath we buy.
okay. Oh, you're talking flat stock versus round,
Yes.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not wanna do round? Round would be easier. Flat stock, you're gonna have to cut the triangle at the bottom, right? The point to get it in the ground.
Not necessarily.
It's just
Whatever.
rounded stronger and less likely to bend.
Yeah.
Flat stock might wanna go like this, back and forth. It's certainly not gonna go like that side to side, but it might go like this, back and forth.
Well,
Where
let's do it this
round
way.
is-
I'll get,
Yeah,
like I said, I have stock at my house,
Okay,
and I'll get a piece of round stock and flat stock, and
Yeah.
we'll go from
and
there.
if you wanna try to take a shot at what I was saying about taking a piece of round stock and putting one of those hooks on it,
Mhm.
then, it's all in one piece. You don't have to worry about storage wide or depth, only,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know. I'll work
Okay.
with you if you want.
All right.
Sounds like a bird feeder, like a 2-prong thing with a pole sticking up with a hook.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the cost of that would be.
Yeah, these
That's
weren't
what she
really
was
good,
looking
so.
at.
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
They
okay.
have the 36-inch 2-pack.
Oh, okay.
So I sent you the link, just check it out, because we used these and they were really
Yeah.
Just obviously, I know concern with space, cause
Yeah,
but it holds good, it's.
Yeah. We just need 70 of them.
right. How much
Yeah.
are they? Those are like, what, 12 something a piece
Yes,
or more?
Yeah, so, yeah,
that's our concern.
yeah,
But,
not plenty of
okay.
Boy Scouts to paint or stain too.
What about an old fashioned post that they, the newspaper tube used to go on?
Or Scouts, I should say.
You ever seen that?
You got a comment
You
for
mean
that,
just a
but I'm not
pipe?
gonna say
You mean like a
it.
pipe?
The green post that the plastic newspaper tube would get mounted onto.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
every one I've seen is a pipe yay big,
That's about half inch though.
yeah, or more.
I'm talking basically quarter
Yeah.
inch, and it really doesn't go anywhere. If it's only 3 feet long, it's pretty sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
If you do go for those green posts, Lions Field has like hundreds of them.
Like garden stakes.
Good night, Ray.
They have them? We should just go talk to them.
Yeah, we're doing a big clean out in February, March.
You are. But did they have the plastic on them, or are they just a metal post?
I've seen like random, but I know,
It's probably 60 years of different posts.
yeah.
Yeah, it's.
We got everything it look like.
Let's
Yeah.
see what you got.
I mean, if I have it out there, I'll take pictures
Let's see
and
what it
stuff.
is
I just don't know
before
when
we-
they're gonna schedule it, they're waiting
Okay.
on nicer weather to open up all the,
Where is it, at the Lions?
yeah, Lions Field.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, let us know, and then that might be, maybe so we can repurpose,
Sure,
recycle.
reduce.
If not, the wood too, sticks.
Yeah, mm-hmm, okay.
And, if that's available to us, then maybe that's what we do while we look for a permanent solution as well, so I think it's always good to have a couple of plans.
Sure. A and B and C,
Yeah.
all right.
Any other questions for the wreath portion? Nope. I think we're doing pretty good. Okay, before we finish off the meeting, you should have a copy of the minutes. If you just wanna give them a read real quick, we'll go ahead and vote on them.
Before you do that, can I do 2 things real quick?
Yeah.
Alright. One was Gold Star Mothers. We
Yep.
talked about that a long time, I don't know if it was this committee or the other one. I
No,
think
it's
it was
this one. Yep,
Okay, I found 3, maybe 4. What I found for Gold Star Mothers goes from anywhere from a couple of bucks up to like 90, okay? Some of it just a plain, red background, blue background with a gold star on it, little flag hangs on, across like this. 2 posts on the ground, and you got, the flag hanging off the middle piece. Flag's about down, that long, 12 by 18. That's like $20, okay? I'm
and
looking,
it goes at the house or at the
goes at the grave.
Okay,
Goes at the grave. Or, now, if you, we could do it another way. At the monument, at one of the monuments, you put it with one of the monuments where the name is on the monument itself. We've got multiple monuments buying multiple sets of these things. You wanna do it where you do it one time, that's placed at the grave. Like I say, I'm looking for alternatives. We could fly a gold star off the main flagpole or the American flag to indicate you have a gold star family in the cemetery. Then it becomes a family versus just the mother. They have a gold star father. If the mother was not viable at the time of the soldier's death, then it becomes a gold star father. You play semantics with it, okay? But I see 3, maybe 4, and they are buried in Grafton cemeteries. So I think if we're gonna honor one, we gotta honor them all. I'll do the work upon it and I'll get back to you on it.
sounds good.
But I wanted on this agenda someplace so I remember to do it. Second thing is very quick. We have a soldier at Pine Grove Cemetery, Civil War, died in 1908, unmarked grave. Okay, I've worked with Sons of Union Civil War veterans from Washington D.C. They got a chapter in Worcester, Willie Broad Chapter 25. They will come, and if I can get the stone from Jeff, he and I are gonna put the application in this week. You're gonna sign the paperwork, I guess, so to accept it, but it's gonna be, vertical stone. Marble, white marble. Once we get it in the ground, they'll come and dedicate it. And this is a big thing. He's talking 200, 300, 400 people. They come from all over the friggin' place when you're honoring the Civil War veterans, never been honored before. Big deal, okay?
Okay.
But I will, if you want, head it off, and report to you, and as soon as I get a date, then they will post it, and we'll get people from all over the friggin' country.
Do we have his name?
It's Warren Joseph Houghton, Houghton.
One more time with the last name?
Houghton. I got confirmation on death certificate and everything else, he is buried there. So he's in a family plot, there was never anybody left to put a stone. He never joined GAL when he got out. So, but he's been, it's the one way up in the corner of South Plain. When you drive in, you got a flag
Right
up
by
the
Getchell,
middle
I
of the
know.
field. He's out in the
There it
middle of
is.
the field by himself, he's got a marker and a flag in it. But now I have a stone.
Should I be happy just being in the field by myself?
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else?
I'm done.
Okay. If you wanna just take a moment, review the minutes, we'll vote, and then, we'll go around the table and close up the meeting.
What do you think of the last changes?
Last sentence, meeting adjourned.
No.
Uh,
Distributed to the town, by the post to the town.
I don't like it, 4th of July parade is what we talked about.
One more time?
We talked about distributing on the 4th of July parade.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's got his idea and we got our idea, so what's the idea?
Well,
I would
it's,
just get rid of the sentence.
it's the same, what?
I'd get rid of the sentence.
Okay,
I don't think it needs to be in the minutes.
okay, all right,
Okay.
I'll move to accept the minutes as written with 2 changes.
go ahead.
The first is the one we just discussed about,
Yeah,
and the second is the sentence relating to Mr. Gallagher. Committee to investigate have a
Oh.
plaque to remember Jim Gallagher. We can either delete the word have,
sure.
which would then read committee to investigate a plaque to remember Jim Gallagher,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're good.
Yep, I agree.
You're right.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Second, and, vote to approve the minutes?
We can vote in unison.
Well, yep,
Yeah.
all in favor, aye?
Aye.
No, no,
Those opposed? All right, minutes are approved, with those corrections.
Yep.
We're gonna go around the room.
Okay. This after the fact. Did anybody else besides me get a notice from the town to do the ethics course again?
Yeah, it's every.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so by what, May 24th?
I think so.
Is it a blast or is it?
Yeah, it's a blast on January, so they actually, you know
Oh,
what?
my email's messed up.
Yeah, check your email.
No, it's.
It's messed up 2
they
different
have it
ways, I've
messed up.
noticed. There's either an extra N or an extra D.
So, speaking of that,
I didn't talk to you.
Okay, what?
I'll get you.
Alright, so you want me to go direct?
I can try and send you the link that I got.
So,
I don't know if I have, but.
Well, I mean, I wanna get my
Issue?
email resolved, so should I just call Candy?
Because until you messaged me today, I didn't.
I'm not trying to
know
solve
you
your
were
email, I'm trying to
I
solve
went back
whether or
and I
not you're gonna get
searched.
into the ethics to take the,
I'll check, because I
know what I mean?
just made
Yeah, but
the appointment for
but you
my
gotta fix your email first.
Yeah, then
Yeah, I don't-
Yeah,
add me to the
that's all.
distro.
I'm gonna take my name out of that.
Candy's with
So
a
I'll
K
check
or a
and see
C?
if it might have-
Okay.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Alright,
Around the room, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
I do not.
Okay, Andy, anything else?
But just if it's okay, I'm gonna call Candy tomorrow, get my email fixed, get this ethics going so I can.
Andy, Cindy?
Candy.
Andy.
Candyville Valley.
Yeah, that's fine. I
L-A-V-A-L-L-E.
totally spaced on engaging with
No, it's fine, I just, like, yeah,
Yeah.
exchange, I just got my.
Cindy handles the distro, or does she kick that over to Candy?
Well, Candy's, we're talking about the ethics and that would be in Candy's wheelhouse.
Oh, okay.
Ethics,
I don't
Candy,
know if I,
okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
So one
great,
person.
I don't know that I got that.
Yeah, it would be Ken.
Yeah. Sorry, I have two different things going on here.
No, it's.
If you have had the course within 2 years, you won't get it until you're ready to get it in 2 years,
I get it annually.
if that makes any sense.
They don't trust you, that's why.
That's
No,
why.
Motion
Edit
to
that
adjourn.
out. One more second. You have anything?
Not part of the committee, can't add anything.
sure
Yeah,
you
you
can.
can.
You can add.
Love
Where
it.
are the
You can
public
add,
input?
you just
It's a great
can't.
time.
It's a great
Love
time.
this.
Time, no, time.
You can add, you just can't vote.
Bob, you have anything?
Nope.
Sean?
I'm all set, thank you.
I do want to extend a thank you for picking up the flags after Veterans Day. We were working together, volunteers, and then Sean told me that y'all had beat us to it and knocked it out.
Who did
I
you?
look a little lost.
You?
So there was a group that came in and removed a bunch of flags from a couple different cemeteries, so to sort of circumvent any sort of issues, we decided to remove the rest of them
Okay.
because, you know, impropriety, you know, the,
We have an unknown
Gets out of
in
control.
South Grafton that does it by himself, and I don't know who he is, I don't think anybody does. But all the flags just end up on the steps of the post, and he just picks them up.
he must have been someone who's been doing it for a very long time and he's just, that's what he does. I haven't actually really run into that issue before, but,
No.
it's a
We
new one.
appreciate it.
Okay,
But anyways, we
perfect. Yeah.
did what we had to do just to keep things moving along.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, thank you.
You,
Alright, so I had a motion to adjourn, get a second?
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hey.
Those opposed, meeting's adjourned.